heroes in electric fire, chasing scores higher, higher, higher. Pixel warriors on a glowing screen, 8-bit heroes in a crazy dream. Coins drop clinking like a metal song. Game over flash, but I'm still headstrong. Pixel warriors on a glowing screen, 8-bit heroes in a crazy dream. Coins drop clinking like a metal song. Game over flash, but I'm still headstrong. Push the button, hear the roar. Fight the battle, craving more. Game of legends in my veins. Pixelated dreams remain. High scores flashing in the midnight glow. Silks and shred and set the tempo flow. Leather jackets and teased up hair. Living legends, we don't care. Electric haze on the battle floor. Digital ghosts knock at the door. One more life, it's do or die. Final level, reaching for the sky. Push the button, hear the roar. Fight the battle, craving more. Game of legends in my veins. Pixelated dreams remain. High scores flashing in the midnight glow. Silks and shredding set the tempo flow. Leather jackets and teased up hair. Living legends, we don't care. Electric haze on a battle floor. Digital ghosts knock at the door. One more go, one more electric haze. Push the button, hear the roar. Fight the battle, craving more. Game of legends in my veins. Pixelated dreams remain. Electric haze on a battlefield. Digital ghosts knock at the door. One more life, it's do or die. Final level, reaching for the sky. Legends in my veins. Pixelated dreams remain. Neon lights burn the night so wild. Joystick in hand like a reckless child. Our keep buzzing electric fire. Chasing scores higher, 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 higher.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Nation Network. Vince McJam with you here, and it's time to say the two magic words, game on. All right, we're talking about the WWE 2K24, last year's game, as it is going into sunset as of March 31st, 2026. After that, there'll be no more servers, there'll be no more, well, no more opportunity to do anything. You can still play the game, but you will not have any access to community creations. As a matter of fact, here's the full note, as all multiplayer services for the 2K24 will shut down on March 31st, which is, ironically enough, a pretty famous wrestling anniversary. I'll let you figure that one out. After that time, all game functions requiring online services will no longer function. Final curtain calls upon us. All the servers will discontinue. This includes all online functions such as online matches, community creations. You'll no longer be able to access any online game mode after this point. However, if you already own the game, you'll be able to continue playing it in the offline modes. The game itself, nor VC, will be available for purchase starting January 31st, and that's coming up even sooner. Not that I can imagine there's too many people looking to purchase VC for the 2K24 game, but just in case you were thinking about it, we thank you for your support. Let's talk about it. What the heck? Get me out of there. There we go. If we decided that we were crazy enough to want to spend any money at all on the My Faction stuff that they've got, for example. I went here to check on this the other day because I was curious to know. We saw a big price reduction in My Faction stuff on 2K25 about 3 weeks ago. And I'm wondering, geez, I didn't do any My Faction stuff at all in 2K24. And I was wondering what price reductions would I expect on the 2K25 since I'm not getting 2K26 at launch. How do I want to manage the stuff that I have currently in the way of VC and My Faction points? And I said, well, let me go see 2K24 now that it's pretty much dead, what their final price range is. Holy shit. There's a reason this game is dead. And there's that message once again. Let's head over to the card market, shall we? Now, the only thing I'm ever interested in are Persona cards, because that can open more things up in the game that you can actually play. Get a look at the price tag on some of these. Now, granted, this is in the upper, you got the Galaxy Opal here, which is the highest rank, but 260,000 My Faction points or 70,000 VC. That's freaking insane for a dead game. You would think they'd want to try and grab what little cash they could possibly get their hands on at this point. All these demastered, which is horrible. I mean, I've got a couple of them now in the 2K25 only because I just have My Faction points and nothing else to spend them on. I'll never use. I did use them once just to see what it looks like. It looks horrible. It's ugly looking. They want 50,000 points for this. Meantime, you can get now in 2K25, you can get these for like 3,000. So we're going from 3,000 in a current game that still has a year left on it. And we look at last year's game, which is crap, for 50,000. I don't know. Maybe they just fell asleep at the wheel and didn't even think about it. But yeah, the idea of spending any My Faction points out the door. Now let's get back to the game itself. Prime time's in the house.
Well, it's time. It's time. It's prime time.
That would have been more effective if I didn't have the overlay there.
It's prime time.
Good to have you here, Pubba. So anyway, what I was doing a lot yesterday, a lot more hours than I anticipated doing, is reworking my final roster for 2K24. And I had already had it pretty much set up where the plan was going to be, it was going to be an ECW roster. So with that in mind, I'll show you where we're at currently. And by the way, I forgot about 2K24 and just how bad it was from an operating standpoint alone. Man, oh man, this game, if you delete images, and I had a lot to delete because I ended up deleting a lot of wrestlers that I just knew I wasn't going to use again, and they didn't fit the ECW theme that I was going to save them as. So, yeah, a lot of logos left over and things like that. And by deleting the logos, there was probably at least 40 of them that were getting deleted, maybe even a little bit more. How long do you think it should take for a computer to delete 40 images? The answer is 35 minutes. I don't know what it is about this game that makes it such a hot mess from an operating standpoint, especially. But damn, is all I can say. It is a nightmare. And I had forgotten about that part of it. I really had. It'd been so long. All right, let's jump in and see what kind of trouble we can get into here. Here's what I've got currently going on, and I'm probably going to delete at least one or two more because I thought of a couple of other names I'd like to add to my ECW roster, and I still have some non-ECW names here that I'm only going to use this for ECW at this point. The only reason I'm keeping like the Demon is because if I recall correctly, he's not in the base game at all. And this was probably a status thing where he got the video and all that stuff together. I might go play him real quick just to make sure I'm right about that. And the same thing with AJ. I'm not sure. I got to double check on why AJ's there. So there's a couple of these guys I'm going to throw into a match real quick just to see if I need them. Because obviously I have AJ now in the 2K25 where I'm actually using him. And that's probably, yeah, he was there from the XWF, which I'm not doing XWF on the 2K24 anymore. So, and that may also be the whole deal with Animal and Hawk and everybody else. So there's several of these I can still get rid of. I don't really need to get rid of too many more, though. Same thing with Demolition. I might cut them loose. Well, let's take a look at what we got anyway. Back to the ECW part of it. Two Cold Scorpios there. 911. That came out really well. I forget who made that one off the top of my head. I know a lot of this stuff was done by K-Rad. You got Al Snow, Balls and Axel Rotten, Bam Bam Bigelow, Beulah McGillicuddy, easy to say. Just added her last night. Big Sal, Bill Alfonso. Lesnar's another one. I got to figure out why he was in the game for 2K24. Was he not? Or maybe, I don't know. I'll have to go check why I got him there. Now, Bo Dallas, I know the reason he's there is because that was definitely a status thing where they unlocked Bo Dallas, and his entrance, I believe, is Tron's, I think, might be there. So I'll double check that. So that kind of stuff I'm going to keep because there's no way to replace it. Billy Kidman, more Brock, Benoit, Chris Candido. Candido's a lot better than he looks here. It's like, let me see something here because that bothers me. I think we can do a better. Let me see what we got going on here. Yeah, it's the angle. Let's go here to personal information and try and get a better screen pose. I think that might change things up a bit. But in the games in the past, you were able to actually change, like as you rotate. Like if you took the picture in this position, that's the position the picture would be in. It didn't have to be the default pose so far as the camera angle is concerned. One thing we've learned about 2K is everything that used to be is gone now, and it's not as good as it was. All right, this has some potential. That's a good angle for him, I think. Now we want to try and get his eyes coming back towards the camera a little bit, I think. That's better. Sean Cook in the house. Welcome aboard. Saturday Morning Wrestling is going to be extremely memorable this week. It may end up being the most talked about episode for the entire year of 2K or 2026. And by the way, as we go through this roster, if there's anyone ECW-wise missing, let me know, and we can see if we can track them down. So what I still want to add, and I thought about it after I had already gotten out of it yesterday, but I still want to add woman. So I'm going to go see if somebody already made one. And Joel Gertner. Those are two names that I don't have that I wouldn't mind adding. So back to this. Where were we? Alfonso, Brock, Chris Candido. Yeah, that does look better. I can deal with it. Chris Jericho. Not from ECW, but these guys really did a good job on Christian, and I got Edge come up in a minute, and this is that time where they were doing the 5-second poses and all that stuff for folks that had flash photography. The benefit of those. We got CM Punk, the British Bulldogs, Dean Malenko, we got Francine. Why do I have... I mean, I know why, but why didn't I not free this up? Can I? Yeah. I'm surprised. No problem. Surprised I hadn't already done that. Again, I'm not going to go back to 2K24 to do anything with the Wyatt Six or a modern-day roster of any kind. There's Dynamite Kid. Man, some of these creations really came out well. And most of the old school ones here, that's probably going to be Honcho if I had to guess. Yeah, Brooklyn Brawler's been on a little bit of a roll lately. A lot of the underdogs are, and it's good in a sense that anything can happen, I guess, but when you're setting their rating at like 35, and in some cases they even beat somebody who's a 78, it's like, why do we have numbers then? What's the point of this if they mean nothing, and they clearly mean nothing? Francine came out really well, too. Yeah, and you can tell from that. That's the actual thumbnail. Got Hollywood Nova. Again, Hawk and Animal. We'll probably cut them loose. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. We can cut that loose. Greg Valentine. We can cut that. So there's plenty more if I need to make space. The other thing I was actually building on was Monday night talent. So I picked up a few more to fill out the WCW roster, for example, with Jeff Jarrett. Nasty Boys, of course, would fall in line with that. Liger, Johnny Grunge, John Cronus, super fly. Just incredible. Don't buy nothing from him. Kerry Von Erich. Ooh, I love me some Kerry. I'm going to keep him for now. And I mean, if I need to, I could free it up. Same thing with Kevin Sullivan with the varsity gimmick. Booker T, I believe, is another one of those that might have been unlocked by status. So I'll throw them into a match here momentarily. Bagwell really came out well. I forget who made it, but it's a really good version of Bagwell from the early days. Little Guido, Lance Storm, Mike Awesome, Mikey Whipwreck, Miss Elizabeth. I would not get rid of that one. Mustafa Saeed, although if that's an in-game model, which it is, why? This may be one that's playable. I've got a feeling this is a playable Miss Elizabeth. But again, do I need that? Not really. Mustafa Saeed and New Jack. That's the one thing that's kind of bumming me out, is that I'm doing this in 2K24, whereas 2K25 now has New Jack and that really cool entrance and all that. And I'm not going to, if I do ECW, I won't have that New Jack as all. But, all right, small price to pay. Papa Shango. I can't imagine why I would need to keep that. But for the moment, doesn't matter unless I need the slot. Same thing with Orndorff. Again, if they're not filling the role of either Monday night, whether it be WCW or WWE, then don't really need to hang on to them anymore. Raven's there, Psychosis is there, the Pitbulls, number 1 and 2. Rhino, and this is back when they were able to do the glitch where you put either the chain mesh or the towel over the head and then make it invisible so the hair gets matted down. Ric Flair, we got Rocco Rock, Sabu, there's Scotty Riggs, Scott Steiner, Scott Norton, I picked him up for the Monday night. Sandman, Alta Tires, Sergeant Slaughter, that's another one that technically can go. So I still have plenty of slots left if I need them. We've got the 2 versions of Sting. Look at that Stevie Richards. Man, is that good. Steve Carino, Sonny, Super Crazy, Tajiri, Blue Meanie. I'm keeping Tessa for now, even though she doesn't really fit into any of that. I don't know if that's such a good one or not. It looks... we'll see. Again, if I need the slot, she's gone. Tavish Williams, before I was referring to him as Tavish Noon, which is what he is now. The Giant. We got Tommy Dreamer. This is kind of bugging me here. So we got Wildfire Tommy Rich. And for some reason, well, let's go through the rest. Tony Mamaluke. The last time you'll ever see Vince McMahon in a game, this was unlocked by status. Because they had taken him out of 2K24, but he managed to get him back in. But that's it. You ain't going to see him again. Vampiro, Tully Blanchard, Tracy Smothers, again, using that hair trick. And that's it. So if there's any ECW names that you didn't see here that I should have in, drop them here now because we still have a little time left. We go Tommy, edit that. So this is what I can't figure out. If that's my main slot 1, why does it keep on showing slot 2? This is the one that it's showing in the thumbnail, and I'm just trying to figure out. Wait a minute. I think I may have answered my own question, possibly. Is that portrait? Yeah, I think I just did. Left one. That's it. Problem solved. I think. Has that always been there? I've never even noticed it before. Shit. Now I want to go into 2K25, and if that explains, because I'm wondering why all my portraits suck. Oh, I got to check on that. It's all in the details, man. I use all of them, man. Right now, I'm just focusing on 2K24 because the servers are going down in the not-too-distant future. And I'm just loading up my roster for my last run with it. And I decided it's going to be ECW. So if I want to do ECW shows, I'm just going to go to 2K24. If I go to 2K23, I forget what I had there. Might have been TNT. Might have been TNA back then when it was Impact. I'm not even sure. I know 2K19 I did a lot of Impact stuff. Actually, 2K23, I'll take that back. 2K23 is going to be my UPW, I bet. I should look into that. I might have to check that out next. So again, that's the roster I have. If there's any names that you guys think should be there, whether you're here live or watching later, drop them in the comments down below. We still have some time to go. Let's go to our community creations. I love it's like window shopping, man. I could do this all day. And at this point in time, you already know this is the best of the best, whatever is in the top rankings. Most recent. I'd be curious. Upload date. Oh, shit. There's still got people playing it, man. This was uploaded like today. I don't know who Thunder is, but he was uploaded today, so. SmackDown Nitro. That's interesting. Robin, how long ago was he uploaded? Yeah, 15th. Holy shit. I thought this would be a desolate wasteland by now, but there are still folks here. All right, let's go. Woman, oh woman, where are you now? I wonder. I feel like there's going to be 100 things under. Let me try putting ECW in there as well. To help. Otherwise, I'm going to get like probably 100 Wonder Womans or some shit like that. Well, I mean, I haven't touched 2K24 in a good year, to be honest with you. It's just that when I saw that they were dropping the servers, I said, well, let me go touch base with it and see what I got on it. And that's when I remembered I had it set up for ECW. Now, have I used it? No, not in a long time. But I'm not getting 2K26 at launch, which is the first time. It's always been that I do get it. See, I'm thinking about something like this, for example. Getting the Dudley Alta tires, but that means I have to free up 2 slots. So if I get rid of the Road Warriors or Demolition, there's the slots. And then I'll have these different attires to use for them, which is a little bit more time accurate for the ECW portion of their career. But first, let's go to the most downloaded. And hopefully something there will match. Judd, how you doing, man? Yeah, we talked about this on Wrestle Chat the other day. I'm a huge fan of them putting the belt on Drew, and I love Cody. I've been very outspoken about all this. You know, he's going to turn heel. They need him to turn heel. He doesn't need to turn heel any more than Ricky the Dragon Steamboat ever had to turn heel, or John Cena. You know, look what happened with John Cena. Okay, big mistake. Wasted months and months. And based on the Cena heel turn, absolutely not. Because you guys have proven one thing, you can't do shit right. I am just now starting to watch Unreal, and now I get it. I don't know who some of these people are. You know, they like to dress nice, and they have their 3-piece suits and all that. But other than the people that I know, I think they just fooling themselves. They don't know wrestling. They're not in touch with it. So, yeah, I'm really, really happy about Drew having the title, and the fans are happy with him having the title. And I've got a funny feeling he's going to fuck up their WrestleMania plans, because as long as he keeps drawing the kind of numbers he's early on, now granted, you can say it's a new champion thing, you know, the bloom will fade from the rose. I don't think so. I think this is something that too many of us have wanted for too long. And finally, it's here. So that's what I think's. Dookie in the house. How you doing? By the way, any of you guys still pick up 2K24 at all? Out of curiosity, because, again, I hadn't. The only reason I'm doing it is because the servers are going down, and I want to put a roster together before that happens and get the last of the community creations. So we're looking for a woman right now, and then I'll go for Joel Gertner after that. Look how long it takes just to go to page 2. What I remember about this is eventually, like, you get to page 9 or 10, and then it just kicks you out. Sammy Guevara. Keith Lee. Wow, you talk about somebody who went straight downhill. And now Powerhouse Hobbs leaving AEW, coming over to the NXT brand. I never really cared a whole lot for him in AEW back when I was watching it, but let's be honest, they didn't know what to do with him. So there's that. Digley Judd, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. $24 and $25. There you go, depending on if I wanted to play today's roster. And that's kind of the same logic, yeah. So in my case, 24 is going to be an all ECW roster, or mostly ECW roster. And I'm starting to think now, I mean, if there were more names that I needed to add, who were some of the jobbers from ECW? That's what I probably should be filling in. There was Hack Myers comes to mind. We got Mikey. And then the Goon is another one. Because there's no point in me even keeping the Monday stuff. Because if I was going to do Monday Night Warriors again, which eventually I hope to, then I could do that on 2K25. I don't need to come back to this for that, and I wouldn't. This is really exclusively going to be for me for ECW. All right, we're still looking for a woman. Who's that? Miss Parkeel? Is Parksel. Welcome to the nation. Appreciate you being here. Still looking for a woman. Can't believe. What are we on, page 4? Did nobody make... I wonder if she'd be under something different. Sean, the only thing here's the thing. When I did Modern Era, which I don't mind doing, I actually kind of like it because it's easy to do because it's so badly done in real life. It gets no views. It just doesn't, man. My old school stuff will go anywhere from 125 to 250 within 24 to 48 hours. I do a modern day roster, 30, and that's it. Nobody wants to see it. It's just, and I only got so many hours in a day, and I'm really liking AAA wrestling a lot, and I'm going to be still doing those shows. And they got something going on Saturday, as a matter of fact, 8 p.m., I believe, and it'll be on YouTube from what I read. So I'm looking forward to that. They're going to crown a number 1 contender. That's a wonky-looking CM Punk. And still, I don't see woman. Holy cow, what's up with that? Whose Al Snow is this? Dr. Gorilla Nuts. Let me see how that compares to the one I'm currently running. Well, that might be the one I got. Probably is, actually, because that's one of my guys. CSWA, how you doing, man? Thanks for being here. Look how long it takes just to go to the next page. What is it with this? That's not the servers either. Everything about the game is that long. Holly Dixon. I'm starting to think nobody, or they didn't put it under woman. What? I mean, they could have put it under Nancy, I suppose. Let's give it a shot. Be a little surprised, but stranger things, right? We'll fuck up a Monday Night Raw. You went on earlier today. Cool, man. Hope it went well. You do live streaming, I'm presuming. Damn, nothing still. Madison Reyes. Find it hard to believe. I feel like I'm not putting the right search information in. Can't believe that nobody. And I can just soon make one myself. I've done it in the past. Wow. All right, well, I'm just going to say that she ain't there. What was the other one I said? Hack Myers. Then we'll look for the Goon. Now, if he's there and Woman's not there, then we got a problem. Most downloaded. Gotta try to remember. I don't know why that wouldn't be the #1 search. Maybe I need to take the ECW out of it because it's just throwing me the same people. Let's go this route. Bam Bam Bigelow, I've got in my roster. We've got Tommy Dreamer, we've got Sandman, we got Raven, got Shane, Sabu, got the Dudleys, got Van Dam, got Jericho, got Taz, Mikey Whipwreck, Rey Mysterio is in the game, yep. Sean, I have no idea, man. I'm not his agent, so he may show up. If somebody decides they want to sign him, couldn't find anything. No kidding. Let's try the Goon. Raven's Nest, Stevie Richards, Blue Meanie, and Luna. I don't have Luna. That's not a bad idea. That's another one we can look for. I have all of the full-blooded Italians on this roster, including Big Val and Tony Mamaluke. Or Big Sal, not Big Val, Big Sal. Hey, look at so we have the Goon, but we don't have Woman. Come on. What's up with that? I'm not sure about that top rated one, though. It don't look right. By the way, here in Florida, people are losing their friggin' minds because we're going to have 34 degrees tonight. Snowball fight in my backyard. Yeah, this is more the one I'm thinking right here, so we will take that. Oh, and I forgot about Gertner. So I might be better off going that route. I'll go for Gertner. If I find that, then I can look for other stuff created by that creator. full-blooded Italians. Being an Italian myself, I took a lot of humor out of that. Everything from the little flipping them off all the time and all good shit. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. You have all this, but you don't have what happened. That's not Joel Gerner's fault. This is why I can spend time just doing this. Some of these guys got a sense of humor. Look at him. He looks pissed at the world right now. Oh, shit. Oh, that's beautiful. Thumbs up for what it's worth, but I'm taking that. And then we'll go check out the creator's other work and see if he doesn't have woman in there somewhere. DJ, honestly, anything real. I mean, I don't want the WWE's ECW, but anything that was under the Heyman umbrella is fine with me because I can stretch it out. Since this game, this is it. Like, this is going to essentially be an ECW game for me. And I don't really see me running season necessarily, like universe mode with this. Because I'm not going to do it on a regular basis. It would kind of be one of those, hey, I'm in a hardcore mode, and we're going to pop it in and do some hardcore. I might throw a show together on universe mode, but so far as running it week after week and keeping up with it, not really doing that. So we can mix and match from that end. I got the Public Enemy already. Yep. And isn't it funny? They've had their entrance in the game for years, and they've never put them into the game. Yeah, I mean, those years of ECW, it was just chef's kiss. It really was an unbelievable. Let's see what he's got. Who is this, by the way? Oh, it's one of my guys, Tyrant Creations. I've used him in the past. Got Marty Jannetty, Gilbert. Ooh, that's tempting. We could use him as a jobber. I can't believe I wasn't already favoriting him in 2K24. I might have only learned about him in 25. Oh, that is really tempting right there. So even though he never went to the ECW, I'd still throw him in there as a jobber. Because you know that would have been perfect. And I already know what I can do with him, too. I don't know if I have a slot, though, at this moment. Oh, I do. Okay. I guess I got rid of a few more than I thought I did. I do want to go back and get those Dudley outfits, though. Slowly it loads. The great thing about ECW back in the day is over here in Florida, it was on Sunshine Network at like, I want to say it was midnight. Might have been 11 p.m., but I thought it was midnight. From like midnight to 1 a.m. seems to be familiar to me. And I believe it was on Saturdays, if I'm not mistaken. And just set up the VCR every Saturday and hoped there were no power outages or anything that wiped out the clock and that kind of thing. And then hoped that the show went off without a hitch on the network. But, man, I'd be up the next day and I'd be watching that stuff right off the bat. I remember when I first heard about it, my buddy was watching it. And he's like, you got to check this shit out. They're going through tables and shit. And that wasn't happening back then. You know, we look at it now like, no fucking kidding. Everybody goes through a table. Back then, it wasn't the case. Look at these referees. Holy shit. Nick Patrick looks outstanding. Mickey J. Randy Pee Wee Anderson. These look good. Jack Doan. Wow. This Nick Patrick, man, I almost want to use him on my NWA. Disco Inferno. That's another one who's got, or at least had. I don't know if it's still in there. No, I don't think the entrance is still there. His entrance was in the game for a while. And they never used him. Never signed him. Dr. Does Steve Williams. Man, that dude. That's a legit beast. There's Charles Robinson. Man, it's a really good job on this. Who's this? Tyrant. Of course, I should know. I'm in his stuff. Earl Hebner. Man, oh man, oh man. Mike Chioda. He was ahead of his time. So there's Luna's attires, which tells me she's probably going to be here sooner or later. Diane Hart Smith. And I can't find woman? Ryan Shamrock. Wow, there's a blast from the past. Kurgan. That was a fart in church for sure. And Golga. What an unbelievable ruination of a character. All that work to build up Earthquake, and then he becomes Golgan. Terry Runnels. Comes complete with STDs.
A major.
What the heck was that?
Noise cancellation high. Noise cancellation off.
Thank you. D'Lo Brown. D'Lo Brown. Shofunaki. Miss Yamagachi-san. Mr. Yamagachi-san. Missy Hyatt. Out of curiosity, what did they do with Missy? Ah, the Bruise Brothers. I like that. Joe Power, woman. Anderson. Arn Anderson, yeah. I'm trying to find woman, man. I've had no luck. Okay, this is a little later on. I like Missy when she had a lot of hair going on with the big blonde. These are nice attires, though. Good work on that. I like my blondes to have long hair. I forget which season it was that Penny cut her hair in The Big Bang Theory, and I was just like, oh. It was not. Oh, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Got Harvey Wimpleman. Look at all this. Where the hell's woman? Mark Curtis. Look at this. That's awesome. Solid job. There you go. I think that's the outfit she wore at the Clash when she arm wrestled Paul Heyman, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Super Destroyers 1 and 2. Salvatore Bellomo, boy, oh boy. I mean, I remember him when he came into the WWF, and he was a little heavy, I guess, but, you know, he was able to throw the drop kicks and the head scissors and all that, and he was fun and exciting back then. And then I don't see him for a long time, and then I see him turning up in ECW, and I was like, oh, Bellomo's wrestling tonight. And all of a sudden, it's like this house comes walking in, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? You know you can say no to dinner sometimes. You ain't got to eat everything. Samoan Warrior Peaches, that's another name. Donnie Allen, that's a good one. Where are we at here? I already got a 911. I got Nova covered. Tammy Lynn. There's woman. Thank you. Why wasn't it showing up in a search? Oh, it's 2K, that's why. Oh, that. Perfect. Done. Done and done. The 1992 roster is now complete. The Samoan Warrior. Yeah, what I wouldn't mind finding here is the original Taz before he became the human suplex machine when he was supposed to be the Tasmaniac. Do I have Sonny? I don't think I do. I don't think I've got a Sonny. I can tell you right now from here, it looks like he's got the face down pat. And I got an empty slots. All right. And this is Tyrant. All right, here's what we'll do. We're going to go get rid of some stuff to make room. I think I'm just going to get rid of damn near everything. First I got to do is run a match with some of those creations that I'm keeping, I think, because they were unlocked. So let's do like a battle royale, I guess. No, it doesn't matter. I just want to see entrances. So now the question is, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, I was right there first time. Customs. Trying to figure out why we're keeping these. Like I said, I know with this one, it unlocked stuff. Because I'm not going to even keep Brock realistically. Is he not in the base roster of 2K24 though? Being said. Here's the fantasy match. That might have to be part of Legends Mania someday soon. Looks like somebody just inserted something someplace it's not supposed to. There's another one I wanted to see. What am I doing? Ba-dum-bum-bum. I can't imagine any circumstances where I would need to keep that. That's it. Wait, go back here. So we can just fill in the blanks at this point. And again, I'm just interested in seeing if any of these have the Trons and things unlocked, and that's why I've kept them. Otherwise, the majority of them can go. Infrared TV in the house, my brother from another mother. How you doing? Hey, are you coming this way for the MLW show at the end of the month? It's at the same place as we saw the TNA shit.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Gainesville, Georgia. Weighing in at 235 pounds.
Yeah, so I didn't think they had the old school AJ done for 2K24, so it didn't have any of his stuff. By the way, in case anyone's not aware, we did Legends Mania last night. It wasn't advertised. It was just one of those I was in the moods. It was a good one, and we crowned a champion. All right, so this has the Trons. And this was like a custom-made Lesnar when he first started coming in with his ponytail, dude, but it's not like an in-game piece of content, but at least it does have the music and the Tron, so for that reason I may end up keeping that. I'll keep one of the two of them anyway. I don't know if I'll keep them both. I may just keep the younger one, which actually looks more accurate. Ken Rogers in the house. Are they doing Battle Riot, or is it a regular TV taping? I don't work there anymore, so I don't got my free access. Yeah, I think I'll keep this one. Yeah, as I recall, they were able to jailbreak him in the game. And then somebody just kind of made the other version, and that was about as good as it got. So I'm going to keep the young Brock and get rid of the other one. Sorry you're not going to be able to make it down, though. I figured if you were going, I would go, and we can try and get tickets together or something like that. So, but I don't have that many wrestling fans local. Everyone I know is around the country.
From Houston, Texas, weighing in at 251 pounds, King.
Is there anything unique about this? I feel like this entrance probably had to be unlocked somehow, or jailbroken more accurately. The Tron's no good. It's just the regular Booker one. But I'm not so sure about this entrance, if that's... Is that accurate, Booker? King Booker entrance? I mean, without Charmel running behind him yelling, King Booker! But it also doesn't seem... Oh, see, it doesn't remove anything? Yeah. All right, so expendable. So wait a minute. You're telling me MLW in one session does all of that shit? They're going to do like weeks worth of TV around the event itself? Holy shit. This is another one where I think it had to have been unlocked by status. The Trons belong to the Judgment Day. But I think that the Demon wasn't in 2K24, and as well as this entrance motion. You know, I often think to myself, if ECW hadn't have gone down and Heyman was still running it to this day and they were still running the bingo hall, what talent would have stopped off along the way and done, 6 months to a year under that banner before going to AEW or WWE or NXT or TNA? And I gotta believe Prince Devitt's one of them. And God knows what Heyman would have done with this entrance. It's all about this entrance, though, because the music's not matched up to it. But I can actually, I don't know, maybe he'll make an appearance in ECW here in 2K24 land, possibly.
And from Ohio, weighing in at 230.
Ken, when it comes to DLC or anything in-game content-wise, they're never going to let us change certain aspects of them because of copyright protection. And even transferring, even though they're very similar, they're not quite the same year to year. Hairstyles change in the game, and look how much the game gets fucked up when they just make changes on their own for stuff that's supposed to be in the game. Imagine if we asked them to take stuff from last year's game and import it into this year's game. I can only fantasize about the type of disasters we would see.
And from Tennessee, and their opponent from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Ah, I was like, who the hell is this?
At 265 pounds, the Superstar.
All right. Now I know who we can get rid of. MLW does all their TV tapings in one session. That's why the crowd looks deflated. Dude, I don't get it. At this point in history, and now we're up to the PS5s, how in the world is it that you can't get more than 100 created wrestler slots? The thing I've always argued that I would love to see, but it'll never happen for the same reason that I said earlier, is if there's slots occupied by, base content of wrestlers that I'm not going to ever like Wesley, for example. Nothing against him. I'm never going to play him. I'm not going to have any use for him in the game. I would sooner delete him and have the slot, but that's not going to happen. But why they can't add more at this point in time, honest to God, I got to believe it has something to do with the number 100. If they change that number, it'll make the whole game crash. That's the only thing I can think of. Of course, they'll make the whole game crash with everything else they do anyway. Yeah, Samoa Joe and Bryan Danielson, man, oh man. It makes you wonder what would have been. Was it 2K24 or 2K14 rather? Holy shit. I mean, look, coding definitely isn't my strength. But what I guess I would say to that, though, is they've had 10 years. Maybe it's not their strength either. Yeah, but Fire Pro, that's apples and oranges, man. They're like 16-bit versus this. You got this hyper-realistic stuff going on with the skin tone and the friggin' veins in the arms you can see and the sweat and all that kind of stuff. And that obviously takes up more memory and uses more CPU. But they could still be over 125 by now. I'm sorry. There's no, I mean, that's as far as I can defend them. I can't go any further than that. They got to be over 100. The biggest FU they could give the fans is, and this year we've expanded the call base where you can now save 101 created wrestlers. That's what they need to do, just to say right up front, fuck you, we don't care about your bitching. Which they don't. Fire Pro World, I didn't think there was a limit on that. I thought it was as much as your system could handle. NBA 2K proves that year after year. I have not picked up an NBA game, and damn, I can't tell you how long it's been. I guess, well, that's partially true. I guess there was I want to say it was 2K19 was the free game, one of the free games of the month on the Sony PlayStation Network deal. So I got it for free, and I played it for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. CM Punk for sure. I mean, I'm amazed he didn't, because he was in his early days and he was wrestling some little joint here in Florida, South Florida, I think it was, where he did some of his earliest stuff. It was televised to a certain degree. I don't think on television. I think it was internet type stuff, maybe, or maybe local television. Can't think of the name of the promotion off the top of my head, though. All right, let's see. What I need to do is free up some people. So let's go to universe mode. What do I have in universe mode? That should be all ECW at this point. Let me double check. We got the Flagstaff Arena, or the Elk Staff as it is in this one. All ECW. Okay, so that's fine. So anyone I got to get rid of should have ties. Universe again. Load that. And we've only got the 3 shows, which I'm feeling like that should clear up most everything. Let's go over here, see what tag teams exist here. And if, like the British Bulldogs or something like that, we can get rid of that. The American Males. Gonna keep that. Like I said, I might dabble with the Monday night thing once in a blue moon here. Decisions. I may end up coming back and deleting them later, is all I can say. All right, British Bulldogs. Man, those look good. That's the part that bugs me. All right, definitely don't need that. So delete. The hell is that all about? Must have been part of the season. It's also fun going through these old rosters and seeing what was. Demolition. We're going to get rid of them. Get rid of that so we can get rid of the Boogeyman. Into Sheer. Wow. Blast from the past. Look at baby Dom wearing his prison shirt. Prison changes a man. Ah, the crown. That was fun while it lasted. And that might be the only reason I got that Booker, actually. So I think I'll cut him loose, too. That was a fun storyline, though, with the crown. LWO. Get rid of LOD. Keep the Nasty Boys. I might have them do an ECW run. I still have to go through the, not my faction, but the territories thing online for 2K25 because I got to unlock my NWO Cena. And I'm only into New York, and I think you have to unlock New York to get to Atlanta to unlock the Cena. Any update on the condition of Piper Niven? Last I heard, she might have to hang it up. Can only imagine why these two would have been thrown together. Man, I see these old pictures of Ripley, and gosh almighty, she was so pretty. What'd she go and fuck all that up for, man? Ah, she was gorgeous back then. These boys are going to be getting their asses kicked in my ECW. I can tell you that right now. That's why I kept them together. They're going to get wrecked by everybody. Look at that rating. Overall 30. They are going to get wrecked. That's it. All right. Yes. Yeah, Ken, when it comes to Fire Pro, and we're going to be messing with the PS2 version of Fire Pro. And I've got my save cards and all that in the not too distant future. Because back then with that game, I loved that game. I mean, man, oh man, I actually sat out a year of WWE just because of that game. The logic to it is incredible. If you could ever take their logic and mesh that with 2K's graphics, we're done. That's all. I should have checked on one more thing, but I guess I'll find out in a minute. Actually, I can do it through here. Never mind. Let's check on our rosters. Customs. Thank you. No, this isn't what I'm looking for. Or is it? It might be. Yes, it is. Okay. So we're going to get rid of that Brock Lesnar. We're going to keep that Brock Lesnar. All right, that should do that. And then we can delete some more and go pick up some more. Yeah, Ken, we had a newer version of Dungeon of Doom, and I think that was my original XWF run, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it was for it might have been for WCW, actually. I'm not sure. All right, I think that's all we need to do to free them up so they can be deleted. And if not, it'll tell us. Dude, there was a lot of stuff. I mean, you think the Cena thing is bad so far as having to unlock him this year for the NWO Cena. To get the Elite action figure Hulk Hogan last year, where he's got the America USA guitar and all that stuff, you had to go buy the action figure from Target, which I did. It's on the back wall right there, as a matter of fact. Now this year, you had to purchase him or unlock him with my faction points. The fuck? I paid like $16 for the Elite figure. But that's all 2K ever really does, man. It's like, yeah, there'll be some new stuff out there. But they have this real bad habit of the stuff that was free before, it's not this time around. AEW Fight Forever. Oh, my God. Talk about underperforming. Ooh. That was a nightmare. I'd be curious to know how many active users are playing that game. All right, edit custom superstars. Let's get back into this. Make some last-minute cuts. Hopefully everybody's been freed of their contracts now where we won't have any problem with this. Why does it not just start on the letter A? I don't know. Why do I ask the question? Delete. Yes. Yes. I never delete the logos because inevitably the game will fucking delete a lot of other logos. Even though it says it's only going to delete the logos associated with that figure unless they're being shared. Bullshit. They've never got that right. So I will always manually delete logos. It's tedious, it's time consuming, but that has never failed me. What was this? Hold on. It's used in other content. All right, we'll have to go to the utility to figure out. Well, it needs to tell you where. I mean, it's going to tell me slot number 2, but that doesn't do me any good. We deleted the Road Warriors from Tag Team. I didn't see them listed as active, unless they might have been the WCW roster. That might be it. But we'll go check. Let's see. Dude, a lot of people didn't look at that game after the first month. I did go back. I usually do like an annual pilgrimage. I'll go back and just for fun put it in. And the one thing I'll say about it is it takes almost no time to figure out how to play it again. It's pretty damn simple. It still sucks. And here's the other kick. I figured just during the holiday break, I said, well, everything, the Christmas sales on video game stuff and all that, and you can get stuff cheaper. And I went on to see if they had discounted their packs for the talent, the extra rosters that you can add on there, like Edge and things like that. And nope, they were still like $8 a pop. And I'm like, I'm not paying it. But, if you'd have had it down to $2 or $3, I might have just, fill out the roster. So that whenever I do pick it up, I actually have the whole roster available, but I ain't paying that. Yeah, dude, if they ever made it a la carte for wrestlers, that I remember back to when Impact Wrestling would come here and they would do the meet and greets before and after the show. The one that stood out to me, and I felt bad. It was after one of the nights, and Infrared, you might have been there for this one. I'm not sure. But it was when the table signing at the end of the night, on the left side, you had Santino, and on the right side, you had Mickey James. Mickey James legitimately had a line going out the door. There was nobody going, and I don't mean like only 1 or 2 people. I mean 0 people going to Santino's table. And he's just kind of sitting there looking like a buffoon. I felt bad for him. But that would kind of be the way it would work out if they did that with the video game. A lot of these people would never get their paychecks. Good news is we put you in the video game, but bad news, it's based on people, on fans wanting to pay for you to be in the video game, and you're not getting paid. This Lesnar goes. What? I thought we cut him loose. Maybe we'll have to go through each roster, I think. Valentine, don't really need him. I mean, realistically, based on the ones I'm getting rid of, that might be enough anyway. I'm not sure I'll be able to fill all those slots. This I definitely don't need. Please delete without a problem. Thank you. Thank you. You were there for that one? Yeah, it was so bad. It's like, oh my God, there's Nikki legit had probably 100 people or more in line. And there was absolutely no one. And my favorite, I got a bunch of these pictures. I paid for all that shit. One night you had the Motor City Machine Guns at the one table, and then you had the Bullet Club with Austin Aries and Chris Bay. And I literally went from one table to the next, and just, you know, it was like freaking $40 a shot, I think. But I was like, yeah, man, these are two of my favorite tag teams at that time, especially. Chris Bay, any update on him? I mean, I know he can't possibly get back in a ring again. I did see him at least walking, though, which is a great thing. Oh, my God. And then let's talk about, while we're here bullshitting, y'all know, if you know me, you know me. Can't stand AEW. And at some point in time, I think someone's going to have to be held accountable in ECW, they wish, AEW. And I know you can't stop stupid. And Darby Allin is fucking stupid. I've never seen someone so anxious to be crippled and paralyzed. I mean, he is doing everything in his power to make sure he can't walk. But if you haven't seen this, apparently he was in a match, and I don't even remember who the guy was. They're on the floor. The ring steps have been pulled away, and they're like in the middle of the aisle. And the dude hits him with a overhead belly to belly, if I'm not mistaken, or a German suplex. Either way, I'm pretty sure it was an overhead belly to belly. Onto, when I say onto the steps, not the flat part of the steps, onto the actual corners of the steps. I mean, dude, you're a special kind of stupid. And he's always been. But the fact that nobody in the back is protecting him from himself. I mean, this is the same guy that jumps his car over his own house and didn't quite clear it. So he'll find a way to fuck himself up at the end of the day, and I'm not going to feel a bit bad for him when he does. And then you got guys like Chris Bay, who, you know, he's a professional, and he does it the way you're supposed to do it, and something just went wrong. It's like paralysis is wasted on the wrong person. Give it to Darby. He wants it. Oh, wait, I've got them set up in the Horseman thing or whatever, so that ain't going to delete. Yeah, I think we got enough slots by now. That's probably, 5 or 6 at least. Is she doing well? Good. You know what? I love Tessa. I really do. I've been a fan of hers for a long time. Yeah, she's done things in the past or said things in the past, and I do believe she made some comments that she probably shouldn't have made. The same way Hulk Hogan made comments he shouldn't have made. But these folks were brought up in a different time frame where things were just, they didn't mean this. In other words, when you're saying it, you're just saying it because they're words that back then we all just said. Not because you mean it to be some horrible, negative, racist, homophobic, blah, 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 blah. It's just the way people talked at that point in time. And again, she was raised in wrestling, so she might have had a little bigger chip on her shoulder. Maybe she did bully this girl around. I just don't think your worst moment should define your entire life. I mean, it's not like we're talking about Adolf Hitler, for example. My concern has been with Tessa that now they have this TV deal coming up. Is there going to be people out there pushing to keep her off of TV because, the network doesn't want to have somebody with a racism thing attached to her, blah, blah, blah. So the fact that she's doing really well doing meet and greets, that makes me happy. I haven't seen her on YouTube lately, although it might just be it's not popping up in my feed like it was in the past. But she was doing, I think, on the TNA channel, some cool little backstage vignettes where she was talking to this talent or maybe a day in the life, or, what she eats or whatever it was. But she just came across really well, just as a cool person. And, okay, so we can take her at her worst moments where she wasn't in her best behavior. And look at how many people have turned that around in the past. I mean, CM Punk will tell you that he was a bit of a prick when he left the WWE, as will everybody else that was there. Shawn Michaels, good Lord. So, people deserve a second chance. We all fuck up. By the way, these are the current most downloaded creations in 2K24. WrestleMania 40. What is that looking like? Not bad. Yeah, it's actually not bad. I didn't like the arena in real life, much less in the game, but thought it was very unimaginative. Yeah, we could take a look at the arenas in this in a little bit. I just want to finish this roster up. All right. Show favorite creators. And who was it? By the way, I don't know how many of these guys are still creating. I know a lot of them, like K-Radiation, for example, and I'm pretty sure Antron's. Banger Man definitely is. Defrac definitely is. But these are all good names to do a search for every year. Because if they're in it and if they're doing it right. Trying to remember what the heck was the name. Was it Tyrant? No. I'm hoping I'll notice it when I see it, or remember it when I see it. Forsaken still doing his thing. Lucha Games. I gotta check that out and see. Wasn't Diffract. Wasn't K-Rad. Might have been Tyrant. I don't know. Now I can't remember who that was. Let's see. We'll see if I was right. Yep. Okay. So what else did he have? Oh, it is her YouTube page. I'm really bad at going to my subscription tab. A lot of times if it just doesn't show up in the feed, and then I'll go like several weeks and be like, hey, I haven't seen this one in a while, and then I have to go and hunt them down. Yeah, I mean, look, wrestling fans, they're a mixed bag of nuts, and nuts being the key word. They can be really cool, and I've seen that, and they can be complete assholes. And sometimes the same person can be both. But to say that somebody can't be an asshole at some point in their lives and then turn it around seems a little unfair. Again, we're not talking about Hitler. Oh, yes, Tammy, that's what we were here for. Yeah, what makes me a little bummed about the Hogan deal is, look, I went to his shop the next day, and it was sold out. And there were people everywhere. And they had left chalk outside so that you could write messages to him on the walkway and stuff like that outside. And there was, like, people writing messages, and it was just really, really cool. So the overwhelming majority still appreciated him for what he brought to the game and what he did for wrestling and for us in our childhoods, a lot of us, and things like that, or our young adulthoods. Dawn Marie does look pretty good. All right. Come on, man. Everything about 2K24 just moves slow. So when I get to a creator who's doing really good work like this, I actually look forward to clicking the next page. Stevie Richards, I already got covered. Cornette blocked me. I blocked him. Vince Russo. Bro. By the way, I've got 2 episodes of Triple X written. I just haven't gotten around to filming it yet, which that's my bad. I should have done that by now. And they're good. It's going to get pretty damn funny, I think. Tenru wrestled a little bit in ECW. He had, like, appearances. Was he not the champion for a short period of time? I feel like he was. Yeah, I mean, look, there's always going to be, I mean, we're in a pretty toxic society right now. You know, when Charlie Kirk gets killed and people are making jokes about it, you know, that's just the way the world sadly is right now. People are not good. They're just not. It's like today I had to run a bunch of errands, and it's good to get out of the house a little bit, but at the same time, I don't like dealing with people anymore. I mean, had a nice lady, gave me a good haircut, had a good conversation with her. Went to the jewelry store to try and get my watch fixed, which it's kind of fixed, but not really. They didn't charge me anything for it. but it's going to cost $85 eventually to do it the right way. And they were super cool. But then there was that douchebag who had the parking spot, and the spot to the left of him was actually like the closest to the stores, and it's wide open, but so is his door. So he's got his driver's door open into the parking lot, and he's just kind of sitting there talking on the phone and shit. And you just know he's doing it on purpose. He's all chilled out in the car. It's not like he's on his way out or he's, trying to get up, but the phone is there. And no, he's just chilled out. He's got his leg kind of hanging out. I'm like, I don't even want to. It's like I almost pulled up to make him close the door. But I didn't want to entertain it. I just, fuck it, because he'd have said something smart. And then next thing you know, I'm going to just come back at him. And next thing you know, there goes my day. So, no, I just don't deal with people anymore. They're all scum. Except you guys. You guys are awesome. Everyone else is scum. All right. I think, let me double check. I thought there was a couple of names we had in the chat earlier that were good additions. Roadkill. Oh, my goodness, yes. Who was his sidekick? Roadkill had somebody. He was Danny Doring. That's another one I don't have. Kid Cash I don't have. Oh, they're all coming to me now. Doug Furness and Phil LaFon, that's another. They were a really good team. I enjoyed them a lot. Executioner is the guy I've definitely used before. Let's see what else he's got here, because he might have a couple of these other names. Red Rooster. Bad news. The Brooklyn Brawler. Prince Iokea, wow. The memories come flooding back. Reese. His favorite line was chickens? I do not recall that. I know a lot of people were big Canyon fans. I didn't dislike him, but I was never like that big into him either. Here's Danny Doring. Feel weird doing upvotes on something that's about to be canceled. Oh, the video game. I've got that. It's here in the library, so we may end up dusting that off. That was one of those games that was impossible to play, though, man. That was the first game you bought. Wow. Well, you know what they say, Ken? You never forget your first.
Flat.
That's what she said.
You could do your taxes in the amount of time it takes to download or upload something with this game. Kid Cash. I don't know if there's anything else out there. Like I said, there were some jobbers I wouldn't have minded getting, but apparently nobody did Hack Myers. And I've had them in the past. Might have been 2K23. Somebody did it, and a good one, too. Blade. All right, let's see if we can find us a Kid Cash. Then we can go look at some arenas and see what they might have in the way of arenas. I've got an amazing ECW arena, which I don't even remember who made it. Really? Oh, wait. I think he spells it with... Let me check something here. I might have misspelled it. Well, either way, it's easy enough just to fix it. Does he spell it with a K? Kid Cash with K's. He's only 1K away from being canceled. Got that, got that. Any creator? Yes. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I'm pretty sure he spelled it with a K. Yeah, there we go. Who's this? Extreme J. The other ones I'm seeing on this page are not exactly rocking my world, so let's see if Extreme J delivers the goods. Yep. That looks pretty solid. We'll take it. Done. If anything else comes to mind later, we can always come back for another few weeks yet. But March 31st is the official shutdown date, which, of course, in wrestling history is the most famous date of all, because that was the date of WrestleMania. Madison Square Garden, Mr. T and Hulk Hogan going up against Roddy Piper, and Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. The night that changed the world. All right. Now we are going to go clear arenas. ECW. I've got, I think only the two, maybe a third one. I'm not sure. But I guess I should grab some of the pay-per-view ones. Masato Tanaka. That's another good name. Sean, man, I don't have any slots. I have no way to add any more, and the women's roster available is not. I mean, I could use Alundra Blaze and Bull Nakano, but then what? Although that's kind of the way they did their women booking back then. They only had like 2 women ever wrestle, and then once they did it a few times, you didn't see women wrestle for months at a time. The good old days. All right, let's see. This looks like shit. This looks like shit. I was looking at this yesterday a little bit, and normally when they make these things, well, fuck it, I'll take it. We can go explore it later. I had one I used a couple years ago, and it might have been 2K24 actually, where I did a prison match with Boss Man and dang it, I don't remember who he fought, but somebody had basically made a prison, and it wasn't terrible. But because they're moving walls where walls aren't supposed to be and stuff like that, it was kind of glitchy in how you could actually play it. It had to be a cinematic match for the most part. I had to just cut scenes together and make it work. Yeah, Sherry could also work in there. But again, it's a 3-woman rotation. I may do it at some point in time, because we're starting to move the timeline forward a little bit this year, which you'll see on Saturday. As the old saying goes, when somebody hands you lemons, you make lemonade. Oh, it's not making them. There's plenty of them available. I mean, there's like Rockin' Robin out there and Wendy Richter and all that. They're there. You know, people have created them. I don't have slots. Again, going back to what we were talking about earlier, how many fucking years before we go over 100 creation slots? And it's not like this game where I can just cut 12 names in one swap and it won't matter. Everything I've got there I pretty much need. I had to make all kinds of adjustments just to get MJF so I could use him in the Legends Mania shows that I did. I'll be curious to see that one. And then we go, what is this shit? Street Fight. We'll take it. Like I said, we'll take it, look at it. Worst case scenario, we'll get rid of it if it's shit. I'm glad you came across it too, man. Appreciate it. The amount of time that goes into doing these channels, though, people don't even know. It's not just like today I'm just streaming, and I just figured while I was going to be doing this shit, I might as well stream it, and we can have our little bullshit sessions and talk about AEW trying to kill its wrestlers. But even on the days where you don't see us streaming, there's all kinds of stuff going on, whether I'm making new videos for Legends Mania or putting new intros together for new shows or just updating them. All that stuff takes time. So even when you don't see me here, chances are I'm working on the channel. ECW 2006 Arena. What is that looking like? Oh. Is One Night Stand in the game? It should be, right? Fuck it. We have to set up some shows for those backstage arenas so we can go check those out, because I am kind of curious. I'll try to upload it. I don't know, maybe later today if I go on to 2K25. I'm not sure how long this is going to tie me up. Damn, this is slow. Shit. I mean, they did improve this. I mean, 2K25, it's pretty quick. Oh, we're just in the most recent ones, too. I'm not even looking at the most popular. Backstage, backstreet, blah, blah, blah. There's a McDonald's thing. Let's go down to... Oh, wrong one. Most downloaded. ECW 23, okay. SmackDown, Raw's War, Anarchy Rules. Hammerstein I've already got. Hardcore Heaven, how's that looking? Sure. We'll take that. I'd buy that for $1. Ah, shit. Now we gotta go delete logos. If it ain't one thing, it's the other. All right. For right now, let's go to show creation. And let's do for these backstage ones that we just got a hold of. This one here, I don't know who made it, but God, it's perfect. I mean, really superbly done. ECW. For now, we'll just leave it like that. I might, if I keep it, I'll go back in and fix everything else up. But I can use this to make cutscenes and stuff like that. Street fight. Do the backstage first. Good job on the renders. All right, let's see what's happening backstage. I think we'll just skip the entrances. And we shall rise up. Uh-oh. Now you done pissed him off. Like I said, this won't be bad for doing cutscenes, stuff like that. Make it like a table match or something like that so there's no referee in the way. Oh, the ropes are coming through. Oh, bounces off the couch, comes back out front. That's how we used to wrestle in the living room, man. The couch was always the ropes. Oops, swing and a miss. I wonder if I have to climb over the couch to get out of the ring. God dang. Can I pick up that chair? That'd be nice. I don't think so, but it'd be nice. Holy shit, Chris. You got barbed wire over there? You should always have that in your office. Oh, you couldn't have suplexed me on the couch. Damn, look at this. I ran under the couch. Trying to see if I can grab the chair there, but I don't think that's an option. Springboard. You should always be able to springboard in the office. Over the top rope. Oh, into the referee. Get the hell out of there, Robinson. And we're both going out to the office now. HR is going to love this one. Okay, how do we get the camera back? Look at this shit. Climb the ladder. Off the, oh, come on. There we go. There is definitely potential. All right, back in the office. Can I sit on the couch at least? No. He ain't coming back. He don't want none. Oh, I can't even see shit now. All right, well, we get the gist of it. That's usable. Like I said, I can do something with it. Let's see what this back street looks like. Let's make it a table match so we don't have the referee issue. Let's see what woman looks like. And Tammy. I can hear Joey Styles in the background. Cat fight! Be curious to know how he managed to pull all this stuff in the way he did. Was this the first year where we had the crossover between console users and PC users? All right, well, Tammy's kind of incognito there. Oh, never mind. Bitch is back. They both look really good, though. Motorcycle's kind of sinking into the mud. Wish there was a little bit more area to work in. But I do like the way they strategize stuff like putting the barbed wire right there on the ropes. Forget about it. Off the motorcycle, comes back out front with a boot. Oh, she went launching over the motorcycle. Let's climb up on the ambulance. Devastating elbow drop. And we have completely baffled the camera. These are kind of cool, though. Like I said, I can use them sparingly. I wouldn't do a match in them, but if I needed somebody to get their ass kicked backstage or something like that, I could use it for that. Or maybe some one-on-one conversation where the security camera happens to capture the footage, that kind of thing. Let's take a look at these close up. Then I gotta delete logos to make room for more. Let's see. Which ones did we just pick up? Let's get a look at our Amish roadkill. Pretty solid work. It's all in the details. That's well done. Actually, I'm going to get rid of the Road Warriors first because that's going to add more logos, so I might as well do those all in one shot. Anything new? Now I got to figure out why I can't get rid of Brock. He's got to be on one of the other shows. Take a look at Dawn Marie. Oh, yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. She's a crack whore. Do I like coffee? I live on, well, not so much now, but I did live on coffee for the longest time. I did a third shift for 11 years, so I would go through 5 cups a night without even batting an eye. Now that I'm pretty much retired, I don't drink it as often. And I just went shopping, and I should have picked up some. Dawn Marie, where are you at? Danny Doring. Let's take a look at old Danny boy. But in saying I like coffee, it's stuff I make at the house or get, at work or something like that. I'm not going to go to Starbucks and spend $10 on a coffee. got to admit, I didn't see a lot of Danny Doring stuff, and it looks like they did the hair glitch on this one. But that does kind of look the way I remember him. Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting to see what I'm going to be missing out on by not pre-ordering. The thing that would piss me off royally is if that was, the pre-order is how you get the AAA wrestlers that they're going to be adding. That would really suck balls. We just, at some point in time, we got to take a stand and say, you can't have my money anymore. You haven't delivered. And with my luck, this will be the year they deliver. Genichiro Tenru, let's see what he's looking like. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Can't complain. Looks a little bit like Chosen from Cobra Kai. Oh, God. They chanted so much horrible stuff at her. Coffee, bringing families together for over 100 years. Let's take a look at Gilbert. Wow, spot on. Little tattoo there. Dwayne. In case lost, this is my name. Think about it, man. This schmo was in a major storyline in the WWE for several months. Even did some pay-per-view work. And he got over. I've heard some rumors about cover stars and things like that. I heard that CM Punk's going to be there. I've also heard 4 or 5 people are going to be there, that they're going to have a shared cover, which is a better idea than having a solo individual on it. If they are going to add AAA Arena, a AAA Arena at least, to the game, then I think you really need to have a shared cover, that because you've got a Spanish market. And, you'd want them to know this is the closest thing to a Lucha Libre game you're going to get, because they're not putting one out anytime soon that I know about. Oh, I already had Sunny. Shit. I might have to make choices now. I forgot I had Sunny. And this is pretty good, to be honest with you, but let me now get a close-up here. I may end up cutting one loose. Yeah, that's better. Holy shit, yeah. I mean, not even comparison. Looks like Sunny is gonna go bye-bye. I gotta take her off the roster first. I'd heard about some AI adjustments being made that would, if it's true, and that's why I don't really talk much about it, because it's just people throwing shit around and who knows what's real and not until you hear it from an official source. If it's true, it would definitely make the game next level. But then at the same time, Look who's doing the game. Look at the track record of the people doing the game. And the more new shit you're getting, the longer you'll have to wait for it to work. Because as we have all learned and know by this point in time, we are the testers. Yeah, I've got that here and definitely going to be streaming that in the near future. Maybe even Saturday since they're having their event. Maybe late Saturday afternoon or something like that in between the morning show and the 6:05 show. I enjoyed playing it back in the day, and I played it a decent little bit. It didn't hold me, but I'd say I gave it a good mo. Wow. Holy shit, that's good. Wow, I've had women in the game a couple of times in the past, but nothing looked like that. That's absolutely amazingly good. If they put her in the game, I don't think she would look that good. Let me check. What's the other attire? Excuse me. I like this outfit. Nice. I don't even remember it being in the game, to be honest with you. Yeah, no, this really well done. Damn. Hats off. Well, Sandman won't have to come to the ring alone. That's good. All right, let's figure out what the hell's happening with Road Warriors where I can't delete them. Yeah, I'm telling you, Ken, that thing's freaking spot on. Frighteningly good detail. Universe. Road Warriors. We already deleted the team, so that's gone. That should automatically delete any feud if there even was one, but let's see. Nothing there. I think they might be part of the WCW roster, which I may not have deleted them from that. And we're also looking for the more modern Brock to get rid of. Was he involved in anything here? No. All right. Yeah. Still tied to the WCW show. Nothing there. All clear. That takes care of Animal. And Lesnar still on SmackDown. So we should be able to kick them out now. Yeah, one of the things I was hearing about, and again, if it happens, let me know. But the AI on managers is supposed to be getting an overhaul, which is so long overdue. They used to do a better job back in like 14 and 15, where the manager would pull the referee out on a 2 count. Now, it might happen 1 in 100 matches. Do I want to keep the Bulldogs for now? Yeah, because I think the roster-wise, I'm pretty much done now. God, that picture gets me every time. I'll probably come up with another thumbnail for the Goon. That's pretty boring. Uh-huh. As I expected. Dude, that friggin' turnbuckle thing. Holy shit. It is beyond annoying. I'd rather them do, instead of the turnbuckle, just keep distracting the referee or distract the opponent. Anything else. What I would love to see them put in is you distract the referee, and then while you're doing that, you kind of throw a weapon behind the referee's back over to your representation there. What titles he got? Cruiserweight WCW. Might have to delete that out of there. Although they did do some crossover work with the WCW to avoid lawsuits. No, I had Papa Shango in WCW, did I? Okay. This is going to be a lot of images freed up. Harry Saturn. Psychosis. Yeah, it won't matter. Not sure why Sabu's in WCW, but okay. Not tied to any shows. Good, that'll make it easy to say goodbye. (911) really came out good. All right. You got that? I thought the stablemate thing was already in for the Rumble, where you don't go after your own teammates and friends unless you're the only two left in the match. That was supposed to be a thing a couple of years ago. What are we thinking here? Creations, superstars. Oh, he's not. Son of a bitch. Let me see if I can get any of the other one. Papa Shango. Let's see if we can get rid of him. What the hell? All right, so one of the other the game, man. What a shit show it is. We'll just get some. Sometimes what you need to do is simply move to the next show. Even though you did all those changes, if you didn't advance to another week, it doesn't acknowledge them. Now, the other thing I'm going to probably have to do is just go and... Well, no, because the other one's all ECW only, so there's nothing there for it. If this right here didn't fix it, then I don't know what's going to. And I think... Nope, it's working. I thought it froze. Yeah, that did it. You have to actually fast forward to a new week before it'll register the changes. The other thing you never do, you never go to the utility page and delete all non-used logos. It will fuck you up. Every time it'll fuck you up. We need Hawk and Animal. We need Papa Shango and Sunny gone. Papa Shango. Blaze Radio in the house. Captain McCoy, Captain Mike Captain, how you doing? Now, you should hope 2K26 will be as good as 2K24. Who was the other one? Sunny. Sunny. Thank you for the DUIs before. Let's see. Delete. What happened here? Oh, shit. Yeah, she's in the ECW roster. I got to take her out of there. Shouldn't be much in the way of logos other than a face scan, so we can get to the fun stuff here. Yeah, but did they not already put that into the game? It was already in the logic like last year's game, which is this one, right? Yeah. It's supposed to already be there. That was, or maybe it was 2K25, where they said now when you're in a Rumble or a Battle Royal, if you're with, definitely the Rumble, they said if it's a teammate, they will not go at one another. They won't necessarily work together unless there's a third man involved. You know what? Easy way to find out is to set one up. But I'm pretty sure that was the deal. Oh, they've got plenty of people like me critiquing the game. They just don't want to hear it, and they certainly don't give a shit. All right, here comes the fun part. I can't. As much as I just want to hit the delete all unused images, it will, man, it will mess up the game. It always does. You have to do the tedious one at a time bullshit. And I might not get rid of all of them because of how long it takes them to delete on 2K24, which is forever. I just want to download another couple of arenas. So, you know, maybe if I just get, I don't know, a dozen, that should be enough slots, I would hope. Although some of these creators, man, they do a lot of decorating in their arenas. Yeah, the custom music thing is just not going to happen, and they've made that clear because of the copyright issues, even though we're the ones providing the music, and there was talk about, okay, well, what if it ties into Spotify or something like that? But same logic goes. The same way where when we had Ronda Rousey in the game, My Reputation could only be used on her character. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't even put it in the jukebox. Ah, the all-knowing patch.
Pro.
The wonder patch that fixes it all. There's always a workaround if you want it bad enough, man. Jeez, just face scans alone, we're clearing the deck. All right, that's probably 20 images right there, give or take. Somebody set a stopwatch to see how long it takes. Let's actually count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Ooh, good guess, though. 21. Damn, that was pretty close. 22, 23, 23. I was only off by 3. Not bad. All right, where's my watch? See how long it takes. 23 images to leave 2K24. Go. In the meantime, how you doing? Yeah, I mean, Blaze, you got that way of doing it. I use the OBS, basically same logic. It got to the point for me, though, where I was like, fuck it. I only do it on rare occasions at this point, and only like when I was doing stuff with a Joe Henry creation, his music really is specific that it doesn't work without the music, so I do it for that. Occasionally, I'll do it for the Freebirds because I really do think that either, whether it's Freebird by Skinnerd or Bad Street USA, it is so iconic for the characters that it just doesn't feel right. But those are the rare exceptions at this point. Otherwise, it's just more work and effort than I think it's worth. I would love to see them get some more copyright-free music this year. I guess you can keep the same shit you've always had for, I think, ever. But for the love of God, there's plenty of copyright-free, duty-free music out there, royalty-free music. Just update it, man. Give us some more options. And it's been a long time since they've done anything with it. I can delete a lot. Yesterday, I was telling them early in the stream, I deleted, if that was 23 right there, dude, I must have deleted close to 80 yesterday. And it took almost 3/4 of an hour. I mean, it seems like it's moving a little quicker today. So far, only 2.5 minutes. Booker T singing Joe Henry's song. The thought of that is funny. Yeah, delete all is an absolute horrible, horrible feature that destroys the game. You'll rebuild your universe. You'll lose tons of your creations because all of a sudden they have no faces or all their gear has no longer got logos on it. It is a shit show. 3 minutes and 15 seconds and counting. We're going to call it 3 minutes, 24 seconds for 23 logos. And of course, we're still waiting for it to kick us back where we can actually play the game again. I have no idea why this particular game in their franchise was so messed up when it came to that. Everything you load, upload, download, just so long. Online community creations. And let's grab a couple more of these arenas before we were so rudely interrupted. They killed Kenny. All right, arenas. Dude, don't get me started. The friggin' tag team thing is such a bunch of balls that you have to. I mean, I had it on a spreadsheet just so I'd remember every single thing I did for each one, and that saved me a little bit of time, but still, why the fuck can't you import them? Well, I know the reason why, but people that build the game are idiots and they don't know how to friggin' write the code for it. Yeah, the elements, it would be nice to see some changes there. You're not going to, but it would be nice. All right, I think I was trying to download this when I got kicked, yes. I've actually had no problem copying attires. That's one of the things that it has never one time bothered me. You want to reorganize custom images. Good luck with that. I mean, I would like to think you could do it too by like the date you uploaded it, or, you know, if it actually has a file name alphabetized. That does seem like it shouldn't be that big a deal, but yeah. Don't hold your breath, man. Nah, that's not. I'm looking for something that looks a little more realistic. Yeah, it sounds like most of us are on the same page. This is made by the same guy that made the. Oh, yeah, it's Marty, of course. Yeah, Marty M does all the arenas. And he's got this barbed wire match of sorts. I just don't see me using it, that's all. But it's a clever idea. They're using all the big stages and stuff. I'm trying to find the ones that are a little bit more accurate. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, like that. That's closer. We'll grab it. Ooh, I never, as much as I've seen SmackDown Hotel and gone to different things there, I never even thought about that. I mean, I know they have the list of what the entrances are, and so far as who they belong to, if they're kind of generic named. But are you telling me that they actually put together a list of how to make an entrance for this team or this wrestler or things like that? Because that would not surprise me if they have something set up for that. $244 pages. Hammerstein. Heat Wave. How's that look? Yeah, that's kind of cool. Oh, Marty M's into the abolish ICE stuff, is he? Well, in that case, they say the crazy people are the ones that are always the ones that are really technically savvy. So maybe that's why he's able to make cool arenas, because he got no brains. Abolish ICE, yeah. The amount of stupid that what in the hell is this? Oh, you gotta love it. Blockbuster Video Arena. This almost brings a tear to my eye. God, I miss Blockbuster. We are the chosen ones. We are the ones that got to live at the right time through the 70s, 80s, and even into the 90s. Once you broke the 2000 marker, man, it really all went to shit. But God almighty, I do miss the 90s. Not as much as the 80s, but it's close. I might come back and grab this thing. I don't know what the hell I'd ever do with it, but Ultra Clash, Hammerstein. ECW Orgy of Violence. Something tells me I don't remember that pay-per-view. Intimate Games. That's night 2.
That's what she said.
All right, let's see. ECW Heatwave 24. Okay, yeah, never mind. London Street Fight. What the hell? Oh, it's supposed to be like a British phone booth and stuff. I guess. Backyard. That's another one of the games we'll be messing with here in the not too distant future. The backyard wrestling games. Those were friggin' hilariously fun. Stupid over the top shit that only Darby Allin would do in real life. McCoy, did you happen to see Darby's recent stupid move in AEW that he took? Spit out the bone.
That's what she said.
There's a lot of rumor going around claiming that Punk is going to be on the cover. I've also heard it said that he's going to be one of the cover stars. There are going to be multiple. So, don't know. Personally, I don't really give a shit. I'm not buying the cover. I'm not buying the game until after it's been out for a while and I can see if it's a piece of shit. I already have a piece of shit, so I don't need another one right now. I'm all stocked up. This looks intriguing. What is this? So far as showcase mode goes, could do worse. I mean, all right, let's think about it. If it's a showcase with 2K and CM Punk, what is that going to get us? In other words, what are we unlocking? Like we got the Offensica this year and things like that with a Roman Reigns bloodline storyline. What are we getting with a CM Punk that would be worth playing it to because they're going to make you play it to unlock shit you're going to want. Otherwise, a lot of us would never even play it. I never would have played Bloodline. But that's the only way I was going to get the Offensica and how many other shits were hidden away in that thing. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that you had to end up missing out on if you didn't play it. So what do you think? I'm trying to think with his career, what could they be tying to it? Maybe certain Cena outfits, but I don't need 20 of them. Power Struggle Arena. One Night Stand should be in the game, I think. Japan Super Show. What's that look like? Yeah. CM Punk 2011. Yeah, I mean, you'll unlock the CM Punks. So, I mean, I'm sure they're going to cover the whole straight edge society thing. So you might unlock, what's his name? Gallows and Serena, if they're bringing her in. Anyone hear anything about her getting a Legends deal? I hadn't heard anything, but I could see that happening. Do I really need bald Serena in my game? Nah, I wouldn't use her for anything. Yeah, that friggin' Darby shit. And it's not just Darby. I mean, there's a lot of guys in AEW doing stupid shit. It's always going to be a reused model, though. That's the way they do. Beach party. Ooh, they never did do a beach show. I like the idea. It's a good concept. Now, here's another thing they can try to work on for 2K26. Can we have a daytime outdoor arena for creation suites? Please. Thank you. It's been in every other game. The fact that that never got patched or anything, again, this is why I'm not buying it. I have to hear and see that it works before they're getting any of my money. So really, the only thing I want to know is what am I not going to ever have access to by not pre-ordering the game. That's the only thing I want to know. Everything else, as far as I'm concerned, I'm about 6 to 8 months away from getting it. Money in the Bank 2011 without Del Rio and Vince. Good point. Well, Vince suddenly, now that the lawsuit's kind of fizzing out, it looks like. It's possible. I don't know. I mean, they have the rights to the video, so they could always just do that with a video recap without having to actually play the match. I would love, it's funny you mentioned that, Ken. I thought about it over and over again. They have never really done anything with Nexus, which is sad because they just came and went at the wrong window of time for video games and the development cycle. But that was such a critical part of the history of so many wrestlers. Daniel Bryan, for one, or Bryan Danielson, depending where he's wrestling. Oh, my goodness. The grocery store. We can reenact the Booker T. Stone Cold Steve Austin match. I would be really happy to see them give something to the Nexus. Now, obviously, they can't. I mean, it was like 7 guys in there. You had Justin Gabriel. You had Otunga. You got Wade Barrett, but that might be one of the few. It'd be tough to do it justice. Definitely not going to get Daniel Bryan in the game. Although they got Billy Gunn, so anything's possible, I guess. Floor is lava. That's the one I already got, which was a nice one. ECW Live. Another parking lot, only this time they got the ring set up in it, which is probably a better idea. What does this look like? Well, you can't tell from those. No, Ken, I don't think they would resign those guys either. It's just like I said, it's kind of sad as all that was such a huge thing in the WWE history, and it's never been incorporated. Look at this scaffold, which I know there's no way you could climb it, so. This is Marty C. Dub, which I'm sure is the same guy as Marty M. with a different name tag. He says, use it in a cage. Maybe if you did, you could climb the cage and get onto the scaffold. I wonder. Huh. I'm so tempted to give it a shot. All right, we're going to give it a shot. I can't imagine this would work. Oh, never mind. We're not going to give it a shot. God stepped in and said, no, you're going to hurt yourself. All right, I think for now I'm good with what I've got going here. Bum, 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 bum. Let me go back here to Universe. And let's go back to the ECW. And we got to get rid of Sunny. Custom. I thought when they brought Wade Barrett, try it again. When they brought Wade Barrett back and put him in the game, I thought they were going to do something with NXT, or not NXT, but Nexus. Hell, they didn't even bring like the shirts back as an option. Not that you can't make one real easy, but I don't know, just baffles me a bit. Next door neighbors have got their music blaring. Orton Anderson. Beulah McGillicuddy. Fonzie up there. How's he only on one? I was going to say, yeah, it should be automatically 3. I can see doing something where the Nasty Boys run in on the Dudley. Oh shit, that's right. I gotta make room. I'm gonna have to get rid of more logos. I want to get those Dudley alternate attires. I can see the Nasty Boys attacking the Dudley Boys, or even Public Enemy, or even better yet, the Gangsters. Let's see where are we at with the temperature tonight. Dropping like a rock. We're at 51. We're going to hit 34 tonight here in Central Florida. People are losing their minds. What the fuck do we do? It's going to be cold. Yeah, bunch of pussies. Danny Doring. Yeah, let's go. Malenko. Look at that Edge, man. The Edge and Christian, this dude really knocked it out of the park, man. These both look excellent. Francine. Dudley's, Hardys, and Nasties. That's a match. I don't have Hardys in this one, though. Unless they're in the game? No, they wouldn't have been in the game, would they? They might have been. 2K24. Genichiro Tenru. First time I'll ever have him on the nation. I've not had him before. For all the negative stuff we could say about the 2K franchise, and there's plenty, and it's all legitimate, one thing about this game is the replay value because of the creation community squad that's out there. It's forever. I mean, the minute I get bored with whatever I'm running, just wipe out the whole roster, jump online, download 15 new people, and I got a whole new promotion, and I'm rejuvenated. I can't speak today. Shit. Rejuvenated and ready to go to battle, man. I didn't sleep well. I can tell. That one just gets me every time. I don't know what I'm going to do with him in ECW yet. I've got some ideas, but I will definitely want to use him. I'm thinking like Public Enemy in a, what you call them there, three-way dance. You got Public Enemy. You have the Nasty Boys and the Gangsters. Or the Eliminators. That's another one. I gotta fix this guy's thumbnail too, because that looks like shit. Jeff. Jerry's there. Well, if we add one, we got to add the other. I swear, it looks like they're doing an anal probe on him. Hall of Fame songwriter Jeffrey Steele just debuted his new single, A Voice, on Truth Social. I have no idea who Jeffrey Steele is. Anybody out there? Jeffrey Steele, should I know who this is? Lance Storm. I feel like I've got a pretty solid roster right now. I've got Tony Khan issues now. I got so many people signed. How are you going to find time to put them on? Joel Gertner, he wasn't a wrestler. He wasn't supposed to be. He was the man with the microphone, and man, I'll tell you what, the shit he came up with. I always knew it was about time to have a good time as soon as you heard, well. It was only going to go uphill from there. Did I throw Tavish in there? All right, Tavish, good luck. Been nice knowing you. I just watched again for the first time in probably a year the promo of promos between Paul Heyman and Vince McMahon. Really, it was Paul Heyman. Vince just sit there and took it up the ass during the ECW invasion, where he called him out for all the stuff. You took my life, you took my work, and for what? And you had attitude. You had attitude. No, you didn't. You took what I built, what I bled for, what I sweat for, and then you took somebody like Taz. He was a monster. He was a killer. And now he's just a fat announcer, and not even a good one. He was doing a shoot interview where that subject came up about that promo. And it's, oh, yeah, we talked. I kept telling Vince, do you want me to, you want to know what I'm going to say? Just draw me money. Okay, I'm gonna draw you money, but you sure you don't want to hear any of what I'm thinking? Just draw me money. And then he goes up to Taz, and he's like, okay, so you know the spot. You're going to run, and you're going to, what's my cue? You'll know. Short, fat announcer, and he's not even good at it. That's got to be my cue. If that's not my cue, I hate to see what it was. Oh, shit. I'll tell you. Gangstinators? What's the Gangstinators? ECW did a house show in Orlando over on the fairgrounds. And Too Cold, I forget who he fought that night. And he was playing a heel, which that was unusual. And I guess he was kind of still representing like the WWF kind of thing. So for that reason, he got some heat. And he cut a promo on the fans that seemed to last forever. It wasn't like because it was bad. It was a lengthy promo, which they did that shit with their house shows. And he had one line that I will never forget, where, you know, they'd always do the same thing. Like Bubba would always find somebody, a girl, look at you, all dressed up and no one to blow. So Too Cold comes out and he decides he's going to razz this one guy. He says, yo, you need to shut your fucking cracker ass up before I come down there and beat you senseless with 12 inches of limp dick. we just fell out, man. It's like, damn, man. But according to, I think it was, who the hell was it? Oh, damn. I was watching another shoot promo or shoot interview, and the subject of, you know, who was the biggest in the locker room came up, and apparently Too Cold made the list. New Jack and John Kronos. Okay, yeah, that would be the Gangstinators probably. All right. That takes care of the roster being set. Last thing. Oh, by the way, John Cena is coming here to Central Florida for MegaCon Orlando at the end of the month sometime. And you can get a photo op with John Cena for the low, low price of $203.03, which really isn't that bad when you see what some of these other fall celebrities were charging. They don't have a great lineup for MegaCon, quite honestly, unless you're into Lord of the Rings. They got all the Hobbits. The one name that they had there that I thought, oh, you know what, it wouldn't be bad to get this signed is Juan Carlos Desposito, which, of course, is Gus Fring from Breaking Bad, and he was the main antagonist from Far Cry 6 and a few other movies and shows that you will have known him from, if not those two. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what he's trying. Probably about $50-$60. He was like 145. I'm like, no, stop. Come on, man. I mean, if Breaking Bad was still on, then you might have some argument to be made, but it's not, and you don't. But whatever. What is this? That's what I thought. It's like the hell's Regal doing there? He ain't even on the program. He's not even booked, Terry. All right, so she's with Tommy. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, we need Taz, Sabu. Mm-mm. Who else did Alfonso? Did he not, besides Taz and Sabu? Was there nobody else? He had that friggin' match with Beulah that was friggin' unbelievable. The funny thing is, only in ECW can you take two people that cannot wrestle and put on a match that people fucking loved and talk dearly about to this day. He bled like a stuck pig in that match. He was either somewhat involved in the backstage crap that was going on where people were being leaked out to WCW and talent was getting screwed over. You know, Paulie was losing talent to ECW or WCW. Or he had some role in that. Todd Gordon was the guy, but, you know, Fonzie wasn't clean. And he was going to be fired. And then because of that match, Heyman ended up keeping him on. Never too late for a second chance. What did I say? Managers, no. Trying to remember if I went back and fixed that issue or not with Brock. I think I did. He needs Tammy. Everyone needs Tammy. Everyone got Tammy. That's the problem. And we need Shane Douglas with Francine, and I think that's it. All right, we got managers. One thing we could do. Nah, I'm not going to do that. All right, let's delete a couple more and then grab those Dudley outfits. And that's probably going to be it. It's 2K24 coming to a close. See if I'm able to actually delete shit this time. Gonna have to talk over it, otherwise, you know. Yeah, I always love this theme song, for shame. Even the one that he came up with afterwards wasn't bad. They're very similar. Well, similar thing, get away with. 91. Is this it? Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yes. 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 I've forgotten about that one. Walk. They kept that same exact rhythm, though, for the song he would go on with.
Can't see I'm easily by the Bible systems. One step of lashing out of you. You are them. You don't know my skill and call yourself a friend.
Ran with this type of music in ECW at all.
Where's like you? What do I do? Yeah, stand now, standing anymore. What it takes, who I am, we're up here below. You can't be something you're not. Be yourself, by yourself, stay away from me. Your lesson learned in life. No from the dawn of time. Snap.
Damn.
What do you say?
I just put together a freaking ECW playlist.
What are you talking to me? What are you talking to me?
They did.
What you mouth when I'm not around?
Everything
It's
they
either
played,
to
man,
receive.
was gold.
You cry weak friends and sympathize. And you hear the violence play on your side. Those same friends tell me you're every word. Yes, yeah, yeah, standing anywhere. What it takes, who I am, we're up here below. You can't be something you're not.
Any warning
Be
popping up on
yourself,
this.
by yourself,
It'll
stay
come out when the stream
away
is done.
from me. Your lesson learned in life. No
To be fair,
from
we're
the
supposed to
dawn of
it's out there
time.
content either. It's been up there forever, so why should it bother me?
Smash. What do you say? Smash. Are you talking to me? Smash. What do you say? Smash. Are you talking to me? What are you talking to me? No weak punk.
Turn it up.
What do you say?
I'd forgotten about this. That's the problem. When you watch this shit nowadays, you're watching it on the network.
Are you talking to me?
You're watching it on. It's all been split up.
What do you say?
The original stuff that I probably copied over the DVD somewhere.
Are you talking to me? What are you talking to me?
I don't think anyone got it worse than the Sandman, though. When they had to take away his music, it was just not the same. Good stuff. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and make our Alta tires. Mulberry, a tire. And we are going to import from custom clothing. Not sure what these things were listed as, to be honest with you. That is so badass. That's a little more Bubba than I needed to see. What's that tattoo? Let's get a look at this tattoo. Oh, maybe not. Never mind. Actually, let's go this one, because then we only have to do one removal. Oops. Bitch. No, that's not the right one. Shit. I done fucked up. Was it this one? Yeah, that's his. No, that's Devon, isn't it? I don't remember him ever having that other shit. To me, I feel like that's Devon's shirt. Let's do it this way. I'll do a side by side and see which one looks right. I feel like wearing a New Jack shirt's going to be Devon. No, this is actually, wait a minute, this is actually New Jack shit. What the hell? That makes more sense. All right, here's what we're going to do. Why would he have it tied up with this, though? It makes no sense. Or at least it makes no sense to me. Yeah, I think we're just going to get rid of this altogether. Delete. Delete. Maybe he threw an extra outfit in there, which would kind of make sense. This way you're only downloading one and getting 2 altered tires, I guess. I don't know. Where the hell did the shoes go? I can't find my shoes. Well, they're here. Oh, 2K, you motherfucker. And it crashes. There you go. That's my 2K. That's my 2K. Good lad. No, we're going to report this. You're damn right it's been submitted. Y'all better fix that shit. Congratulations on the crash landing, fuckers. We've never seen anyone play this game for 4 hours. And this is how I lost yesterday, man. All this for a game that I may only play 2 or 3 more times. Oh, shit. Even this, the load-in screen. Look how long it takes. And this is on a PS5 now. It's not even the PS4 anymore, so it's 2K. Can't blame the hardware for the software. Well, you know what? Oh, hold that thought a minute. I think what we're going to do is end it on that note. A crash landing seems appropriate for a 2K game that's about to go extinct. Can't beat this. Can't write this shit if you wanted to. It is the way it is, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. All right, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, and anyone who identifies differently. Have a great rest of y'all's day. This Saturday morning, you definitely want to catch Superstars. It's going to be a history-making day, and I'm thinking I'm going to try and do something Saturday afternoon for the old AAA game. I want to dust that off and see how bad I am at it, and I know I'm going to be. I wasn't great at it when I understood it. And I haven't picked it up in a long time. So I don't expect it's going to be that much better now. In the meantime, I encourage you find time every day to say the 2 magic words.
Okay! Game on!
Game on!
Game on! Game on!
Game on!
Game on!
Game on!
Game on!
Yeah, game on!
But the night so wild, twisted in hair like a reckless child. Our keep buzzing electric fire, chasing scores higher, higher.